Everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Ryan Nexus, and we'll begin shortly. We're going to talk about a Reddit thread that was posted about the timeline and lore updates involving Guild Wars 3, and we'll start momentarily. See you soon. Alright, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the timeline and lore updates involving Guild Wars 3. So let's get started. So right now, let's see. There was a new Reddit thread on here. It's from Colin from ArenaNet, and also some other sources. So let's talk about this. So the original post right here in a recent video, Colin confirmed Guild Wars 3 happened about 1,200 years before the original Guild Wars. They've also said 1,000 years before one Guild Wars 1. So 1,000 1,200 years is out is our range. So it looks like it's going to be around 1,000 to 1,200 years before the times of Guild Wars 1 for Guild Wars 3. So yeah, I really think that's the best timeline to do a Guild Wars 3. There's a lot of unknowns that we don't really know about a Guild Wars 3 or that time frame involving the lore and stuff. We know, I mean, we know some stuff, but we don't know like all of it in detail, and it's just going to be expanded on. So let's also see Guild Wars 3 time frame. First documented scripture of Grinth as a god around 48 BE before the Exodus. Okay, so it's going to be around the same time when Grinth becomes a god and a human, one of the human gods. And so that's going to be a very interesting, I think, thing they can base their story off of. If they were to base the game off, like the story of the game based off around Grinth becoming a god or whatever, or right after Grinth became a god, that would be amazing to see if they did anything involving the different human gods in the story of Guild Wars 3. Um, also, Zero AE, the gods imprison, abandon, and leave Tyria. Okay, so it looks like in Zero AE, they just straight up abandoned Tyria. Like, I mean, that's gonna be a strong focal point on this. Okay. The first Guild Wars break out in 100 AE. Okay, so that's also another thing. Like maybe right after the end of the game or whatever, they show the first Guild Wars happening. That'd be pretty cool. They show like the first Guild Wars taking place at the end of the game or whatever at 100 AE after. And then we have Guild Wars 1 happens in 1070 AE. Okay. So that's going to be kind of in between the time frame up here. Um, but it's more like in between, but kind of closer to the beginning of that time frame up here. So yeah, I think that's going to be a really good timeline. Let me know what y'all think of the timeline that has been confirmed of the Guild Wars 3 game, and how it's going to be based before the Guild Wars. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with this. Then also the Guild Wars 2 wiki has some great timeline information on this stuff. Um, it looks like before the Exodus, 708 BE, the gods arrived to Tyria, beginnings of humans, bringing humans. So yeah, it looks like the gods just arrived to Tyria in that time frame and bring the humans to that world. So that's very very awesome. And then let's see, 205 BE, humans arrive in Ore. Okay, that's a little bit. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I guess, yeah. So we'll be because we know that the Guild Wars 3 game is going to be based in Ore, right? But we don't know if they're going to expand upon it or anything like that with some new zones or whatever. I'm sure eventually they will, but right now it's just based in Ore that we know of. And also, 100 BE, humans arrived in Ascalon, pushing the Char to the north. Okay, so it looks like, let's see if we can kind of compare these here. The Char may not be part of this timeline. I'm not sure. If they did, they're up in the north, so it'll probably be like an expansion or something if there's any up there. Also, 48 BE BC, first documented scriptures of Grinth as a god. Okay, and this is all from the Guild Wars 2 wiki right here from this part, and then all that's from the comments and stuff. All right, and then 1 year before the Exodus, the gods abandoned had gifted magic to the races. Okay, so it looks like they gifted the magic to the races 1 year before the Exodus. So yeah, that's gonna be very interesting. Also to see like how magic evolves and is born within the Guild Wars 3 game and how it's used and stuff. Especially with that, that new wall running mechanic that I saw in the trailer. I think that like is the momentum and all that movement kind of stuff they have in the combat and stuff and the movement, that's going to be all based around your momentum. And I think they're going to really do like kind of like that. Maybe they might even tie that to the magic of the what the gods gifted the humans and races and interior, all that stuff. And I'm thinking they're probably gonna make that momentum kind of mechanic tied to the magic. I'm not sure. We'll see. Um, only time will tell. Okay, then it caused a massive war after they were gifted the magic. So that was causes the massive war. Uh, King Doric pointed the gods to Envrin. I can't pronounce that. So King Doric petition, sorry, not pointed, petition the gods to Envrin. So that's gonna be cool to see. And the gods minus abandon agree to put magic into the blood shards. So that's going to be also something we might see is that the gods are going to put that magic into blood shards. I'm not sure it's going to be in Guild Wars 3 or what. Maybe as part of another game. But it looks like they put the magic into blood shards, and that's how they sorted to kind of move away from the attention that the magic was uh, generating. So yeah, and then the gods imprisoned, abandoned, and left Tyria. And then 1170 AE, the Exodus Guild Wars 1 kicks off. Okay. That's for Guild Wars 1 around that time frame. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a really interesting time frame to see what they're going to do with this time period before Guild Wars 1. But, especially since this game, since even though it's based before Guild Wars 1, the visuals on the game are just going to look so up to date and new compared to any other Guild Wars game. And I think that that's a good combination kind of for nostalgia reasons to kind of go back before the timeline of Guild Wars 1, back when you were playing Guild Wars 1 back in the old days, and like kind of see where it led up to Guild Wars 1. That'd be a very cool thing to see how it just leads up to Guild Wars 1. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this timeline uh, on here. I got this from the Reddit thread from the original post, and also Guild Wars 2 wiki and stuff like that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed today's Guild chat video. I'm gonna do some more videos in the future. Excuse my reading, but I'm kind of slow at reading, but I try. So let's go and get through this and see y'all next time. Hope y'all enjoy Guild Wars 3 when it comes out in about 1 or 2 years, maybe probably 2 years. So see y'all next time. Bye.